getting these letters off the police. It's a letter of complaint that I put in, and it's off this Kelly. This Kelly 18222. That's 18222. And I keep getting letters off this Kelly. I've got loads of them, actually. I've had about 8 of them, 9 of them. And they keep coming and posting them through the door. Now they posted one on the day of my mum's funeral after they drove past the church when we was pulling up on the hearse and put the sirens on extremely loud right outside the church as we was pulling up in the hearse. And then they turned the siren off as they got past the church. Anyway, that's just one of the things, but I've just rung up on the 11th of April 2025 to speak to this Kelly who keeps sending these complaint forms. And it's just a bit funny that I've rung up at 8:30 on the 11th of April 2025 to speak to her. And she's on leave today, from today. What a coincidence, eh? She's on leave from today. Now I'm having the police coming in my flat every single time I go out. Only 2 days ago I rang 101 because I went to the post office. I come back and they took all the pipe tobacco out my flat. They keep doing this, keep taking all the tobacco, breaking stuff. Other day I collect Action Man, vintage Action Man. They come back and they broke the feet off one of the Action Man that I just brought. They're just coming in, breaking everything, and they're pathetic. You know what the police are like, corrupt. And I think it's probably due to this Lloyd Patel. Now, I've been told that when my ex-girlfriend's brother, Tariq Butt, who's a police inspector, was working at Manchester Police, that he'd been in touch with a Lloyd Patel. Now, obviously, this Lloyd Patel can get things done, can't he? But yeah, since then, I've been having serious problems with the police for the last 10 years, covering up charges. Now, I've just rung up 101 to ask about an accident. Well, we'll call it an accident, but it wasn't an accident. It was a deliberate attempted murder on me that happened in November. When I was riding my BMX, a guy drove straight through a junction after I was followed round Morrison's supermarket first, and then the guy that was waiting outside Morrison's on his phone, who gave me the very distinct look when you can tell somebody's talking about you. I'd probably let people know that I was leaving the supermarket then. But as I got up to this roundabout, I was going round this roundabout, the police just happened to be there. 4 police officers just happened to be there. And a car drove straight through a junction, illegally, and he hit me at about 40 mile an hour on a BMX. Now, it knocked me cold out, but when I regained consciousness, the ambulance that was there sped off, alright? And the 4 police officers that were running round like headless chickens, right, only 100 yards away, 100 metres away actually, would not come over to the scene of the accident no matter how much I waved. Now, there was 3 people pulled up on a busy town centre roundabout, stood outside the cars, and the 4 police officers would not come over to the accident. The guy that hit me in the car, all his front wing was all smashed, his front light was all smashed and all over the road, but these 4 police officers would not come over, no matter how much I waved. Now, once the cars drove off, then, as I was walking off, I managed to walk off, they asked me what happened. But an English guy who'd stopped with me drove off after the driver who'd hit me and stopped him, right? So we managed to get his details, and the police got his details. Now, I've rung up about this today to find out what's going on because I put a claim in, and my claim is saying it's an they don't know who the driver is, basically. Right, which is a fucking bit of a coincidence. And the crime reference number is LC 202 409 150725. Right? So basically, somebody tried to murder me, and the police are involved, right? And the police are covering this up now. And this has been going on for a long fucking time because I've had people come in my house and damaged gas pipes behind my cooker by bending them in half. So there's 2 big holes in my gas pipe, right? Trying to blow me sky high. I rung the police and reported that. What did the police do? Have a guess. They blocked my number from being able to ring the emergency services back. Now, why would the police block somebody's number who had somebody come in his house whilst he's been out and damaged gas pipes behind his cooker? Why would the police block a number from being able to ring the emergency services who's had somebody come in his house and basically set up something to murder him? Scary. But this is what our police are getting up to these days, and this is the police at Lancashire Constabulary Greenbank Station, right? And I won't mention the rest of the stuff I've had done. Well, I will actually. They took me dog with a complete false charge of my dog biting a 6-year-old Asian girl, right? Which was proved in the first solicitor who sent the paperwork off of the leg that they brought to my house, the picture of a leg that Officer Turner brought to the house. No face, no time, no date, just a picture of a fucking leg with a wound on it that was an old scabbed injury. And the first solicitor that sent that paperwork off to a dog specialist, it came back saying it wasn't an injury from a dog. The exact same questions as me. It was an old scabbed injury. But they had to get that dog out my house. They had to get that dog out my house so they could start coming in my house and doing what they've been fucking doing for the last 10 years.